This topic for your very important for Project Veer Gatha 3.0. Please like and subscribe to this channel. And let's start the video. Role of tribal uprising in freedom struggle. In 750 words. First point heading Introduction. The Indian tribal communities played a significant role in India's freedom struggle in the 18th and 19th century. Various movements and initiatives held together in the fight for India's freedom from British colonial control. The outburst of tribal movement were occasional but had significant role in achieving independence from British colonial control on 1947. The above saying was proven by tribal freedom warriors who fight for their rights as diverse tribal communities in India rose up against the brutal British invasions into their region and territory. India is well known for the Adivasi or tribal people who resides here. From the name Adivasi denotes that they were the first and original occupant of the country possessing original habitat. The tribal uprising took place in various regions in India when the British started depriving them from their rights on their land and forest. The tribal movements, which are often referred to as Adivasi uprising, were a vital part of India's Greater Victory War. One of the most important elements for survival of Adivasi was forest, but the Britishers came and changed forest law which affected tribal communities. Forests were destroyed for cultivation agriculture purposes, which resulted disruptions in the tribal lives. Another mention worthy reason was the outrage of landlords to increase taxes on timber and grazing. Thus, tribal became tenants of their own land. Also, conversion to Christianity were at peaks at this time. As a result of this forced land grabbing, exploitation by British police, minimum wage labor, interruption in their cultural beliefs forced tribals to fight for their independence. Some of the India's major tribal movements were the Santhal, Kols, Vils, Mundas and Koyas in India's freedom struggle. Number 2 heading Coal Rebellion. Coal Rebellion in the Chota Nagpur Plateau was one of the most important tribal movements in the 19th century. The leader of this movement were Buddhu Bhagat, Madra Mahato and Jua Bhagat. The Coal tribesmen had their own independence existence under the tribal chiefs, but the Britishers began to introduce into their lives and tried to impose their own jurisdictions over them. Even Sikhs and Muslim farmers began to settle down in this area, which resulted tribals lose their occupation. As a result of this, the coal uprising started in 1831, directed against the Britishers and other outsiders. The rebel killed around 1,000 Britishers, burnt their houses and looted their property. Third point heading Santhal Revolt. Santhal Revolt, preferred as Santhal Hul or Uprising, was the most significant of all tribal revolts in British India. In 1855 at Bogdinath village of Jharkhand, the Santhal movement took place. This revolt primarily held against the Jamindar of that time. Under the permanent settlement of Bengal, the tribal held to hand over their land, which they had cultivated for centuries, to the Jamindar. This Jamindar raised the rent to excessive heights. This movement was occurred against East India Company. The main leader of this movement were Kano Murmu, Sindhu Murmu, and Birhab Murmu. More than 10,000 Santals united and started armed revolt against British outsider called Dikus by the Santhal. Third point heading Will Rebellion. Vishwaram was the leader of Will revolt around 1820. Will were the tribe that inhabited in the Western Ghat during 1870 to 1819. The British Company occupied Khandesh in Maharashtra, engaging the tribal Will who revolted against the inducer the Will and instigated against the British by Peshwa Baji Rao to but brutally crush the revolt by British military. Fourth point heading Khond Uprising. The Khond were the inhabitants of the hilly region for Bengal to Tamil Nadu. They were totally independent before the British invasion due to the steep geographical structure therein. Between 1837 and 1856, the Khond fought against the British for their abuse of forest resources led by Chakra Bisoi, who was also known as Young Raja. The revolt rose in war against the British when they stopped the marriage system. Fourth point heading Munda Rebellion. The Munda Rebellion was also one of the most significant revolts that took place in the Chota Nagpur region. Birsa Munda fought against his rebellion in 1894 against the British Company and Dikus, which is called as the Munda Ulgalan. Birsa Munda made his followers challenge the British openly and not pay their bill on time. He started an armed battle against the landlord in December 99. The Mundas burned down police station, landlord's home and churches and looted their property. Birsa Munda was jailed in 1900 while he died in Paris from cholera at the age of 25. Number 5 heading Koya Uprising. The Koya revolt was led by the Koyas of Eastern Godavari River that rebelled in 1803, 1840, 1845, 1858, 1861 and 1862. In 1879, 1880 they gained roles in war under Thomas Sora. The main reason this battle was harassment by police, new restriction put by the British on forest region and territory by the moneylender. Then last point heading Conclusion. In conclusion, we can say that the tribal movements were among the multiples of freedom movement held in India against the British colonial. The tribal movement made the British ruler realize the importance of Indian cultural unity and their importance in Indian people. The contributions of the tribal revolt are as valuable as any other freedom fight in the pages of Indian history. And this topic for your very helpful. Please like and subscribe to this channel for your helpful videos, latest updates.